Hello, fellow heroes. I'm back, and man, oh man, has this freaking picture caused some controversy. I think I have the most disliked video I have ever made, a new accomplishment. However, I did get over 1,000 views, and we have 45 comments, with a total as of right now, 12 likes to 116 dislikes. Wow. Well, thank you everyone for engaging. Definitely broke a record for me there. I wanted to go and make a part 2 for this video for 2 reasons. One, to address the controversy. I want to allow people who disagree with me to be able to say something, and then for me to just go ahead and look at it all and do things. Spoiler alert, a lot of them are kind of just saying the same thing over and over again. So this is honestly for people who have the same opinion I have, and to really just let you know, like, don't allow yourself to get bullied or pushed around by people who are making emotional arguments or who are being narcissistically empathetic, because we're going to see a lot of that here in a second. The second reason why I'm making a part 2 from this video is because being a small channel, I rarely get to farm my own content, and yeah, I'm kind of excited to do that. Now, before we go in, and I think future editing Mario is going to put a point up somewhere that's convenient for you guys to see. In the original video where I talked about this photo and why it's a problem for Dungeons and Dragons and why it's alienating the community, I made 3 points. And I'm going to start off with those points so that way we understand where this is, where I'm coming from. The first point, game mechanics will cater to a new audience. Therefore, you're going to try to make the game easier, more accessible. You're going to look at what your audience likes, and you're going to try to cater into that. We've seen this done before with World of Warcraft. I've had this happen to me. Retail WoW is nothing like Classic WoW, and those are 2 completely different audience groups. You also kind of see this with Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed. I have yet to finish a new Assassin's Creed game, and I think there are a bunch of other people where Assassin's Creed just isn't the same game at all of what it used to be with Altair and Ezio. Same thing goes with Halo and Dragon Age or BioWare in general. These are examples. This is something that I've just seen where the writing's on the wall, where you can see that by catering so heavily into a new audience, you forget what made you popular in the first place. So, point number 1, game mechanics will cater too heavily to a new audience. Point number 2, the game shouldn't assume the audience's loyalty. And I think that's very important. I think that's something we see a lot in companies that make video games or games or stuff like that, is they assume, oh, well, even in movies with like Star Wars or other franchises that have been going on for a while, for me specifically Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, they shouldn't assume, oh, we've already got their wallets. They're already a loyal customer. They're going to stick with us no matter what we change. They're making that assumption is just going to hurt the game even more. And then 3, my third point is optics may seem inclusive, but the reality is the opposite. The mechanics can make a story. The game was already inclusive. The game's been inclusive for a while. Some things that I said in my video was, I said, yeah, people can make whatever D&D game they want. People should make whatever D&D game they want. I don't think this is a bad thing. If someone wants to play a game like this, by all means. I know I've done stuff like this in my games. But that's not the issue. I'm talking about the optics of this and how this affects the game and how this will affect the players. And the next thing I want to address, and this isn't one of my main points, this is just an addressing, is when people say, because this is what they're going to say a lot, is, hey, if you don't like it, go play the old game. And I think that's kind of ironic coming from a group of people who want to be included, who are so ready to exclude another group of people because they don't like their opinions. It's not so much that nobody likes this woke LGBT plus community. It's what it brings is a no consequences to Dungeons and Dragons. When the new updated rules have hunter marks being able to be used twice without having to expend any resources, no spell slots, and fighters get to use their second win for free with no consequences. As a bonus, you can regain hit points. You can use it for saving throws now. And if you failed the saving throw, you can basically just get it back, no problem. It's creating a game of no consequences. It's creating a game that's too safe for everybody. And in doing so, the game just kind of ends up not being as fun, and you end up having to work harder to change it to make it fun for yourself. I think anyone who wants to be introduced into Dungeons & Dragons or anything new should be welcome in with the experience of it. You think of games like Elden Ring. You know, that game stayed true to its identity, but it didn't shy away. It wasn't saying, oh, LGBTQ plus community is not allowed to come in here. Baldur's Gate 3 is a great game. Would you use that same logic of, hey, I don't like Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 could be a better game if you did this instead. And then would you say, oh, no, if you don't like it, then don't go play it. Go play the old Baldur's Gate game. You know what? I need to stop myself there because I make a lot of game reviews, and that's exactly what people say. that's actually exactly what people say. It doesn't make sense. No one is saying we don't want gays, we don't want trans, we don't want bis, we don't want nobody is saying that. The next thing I'm going to address and why this affects the game entirely is that we used to have racial stats. Racial stats made sense. If you don't want, I think it's weird to associate orcs and dark elves, drows with minorities. Growing up as a kid watching Lord of the Rings, I never thought, oh, that orc who said meat's back on the menu, boys, reminds me of my black mother. I never associated my black family with orcs. Or any minority for that example. I find that to be very disgusting and racist and weird. I thought of them as monsters because they were monsters. They were creatures of evil. And when you want to include these things and you want to do these things for the sake of story, that's fine. You can do whatever you want. I've done it before. I made chromatic dragons good or neutral or whatever, even in my most recent campaign. That's fine. But whenever you take away the racial stats and you say that a halfling can be just as strong as a half orc, that to me is just weird and takes away from the mechanical storytelling inside of the game itself. You used to be able to grab a halfling, have to work, take that sacrifice of not getting the strength buff, work to get that strength buff, and that's your story. That's your character that you turned into a freaking crazy, stupid, strong barbarian, and he had to work to get there. And you know why I think that's good for the game? Because most people can't write. Most people don't fantasize punching a Nazi all day long. All right? Most people just sit there. And when I say most people, I'm talking about majority of my Project Odyssey one-shots, as well as my at-home table, as well as me being a DM for over 10 years and playing with strangers and helping new people come into the community and play the game. Most people don't know how to write their character or don't care how to write their character. They want to be in the world, they want to hear your story, and they want to take part. It's cooperative storytelling, and that's the beauty of D&D, and that's what makes D&D so fun. It's a game with no borders. And so I agree with everyone that says, yeah, let's include everybody. Duh. What, I live in America. Of course I agree with that take. But it doesn't make me a bigot because I want the game mechanics to reflect differently. I want the game mechanics to reflect the players and to challenge the players so that they can get more fulfillment and enjoyment out of it. You know, any game that's dumbed itself down for the sake of new players, has failed. Look at World of Warcraft. It has a 1-button rotation. World of Warcraft isn't on, it may still be the MMO for most people to choose, but it is not what it's revered as is what it used to be revered as for. Same with Assassin's Creed. You look at how that game plays compared to Ghost of Yotai, and even then Ghost of Yotai has been dumbed down for people. People got mad when they dumbed down Doom Arcade. I know I'm making a lot of game analogies to a bunch of tabletop gamers, and I've been rambling here for already 10 minutes, and I wanted this video to be fast. So let's just get to the comment sections, shall we? The whole reason why I started to do this. All right. So, main points up, main points on the top right. Check out those. We'll see if anyone reaches it. Again, before we start, look at this, look at my video. So I've learned throughout making YouTube videos that a lot of people will leave comments or do a like or a dislike solely based on your title and thumbnail. So there's going to be a lot of comments that I'm just going to be like, well, that's weird. I didn't say that at all, because I made such a bold thumbnail and I made such a bold title. It kind of works. It's clickbait. I got 1,000 views from it. I mean, look at that compared to my other videos. I got 1,000 views for this freaking video. Hey, it worked. I got engaged. Again, thank you for engaging with my video and getting me up there and letting me farm another video out of it. But we got to give half these people the benefit of the doubt, because they probably just did a drive-by click. They probably just did a drive-by comment. They probably didn't watch the whole 20-minute video. We're going to try to go through this fast since I've already wasted 12 minutes of everybody's time by me ranting. So this guy, first one right here. Wow, I'm being alienated. I exist as a member of the majority, and I'm being alienated because they made one art piece showing people being happy together among a sea of great combat badass art. Wow. I mean, this guy's just attacking my character. He's saying I'm complaining. We've already talked about the 3 points. He doesn't address any of the objective 3 points. Really, if you're gonna defend it or something like that, this is just an emotional argument. Pass. Holy effing tourist. Holy fucking tourist. I think that's insulting to call people who have brought this game, who has kept this game alive. I'm not one of them, but my dad was. My dad played this game, and he passed down a lot of his stuff to me. Introduced me to the game at a young age. And so to call, those people that have kept this game alive tourists, I think is silly. I think it's insulting, and also it's one of those things where it's like, you're just doing it to attack my character. You're just doing it to get an emotional response. So pass. I want an objective argument for this. I want an objective argument that goes against one of my 3 points. But they don't have any because, again, most of these people, I say, is narcissistic empathy. They're doing it because they're just virtue signaling. They're doing it to get brownie points on the internet. That's all. From my experience, D&D is immensely queer in community. Oh, we have something here. I spent plenty of time hopping from play group to play group online. I don't think I've met a group that are entirely cis hetero male. That's not the point I was making. So he's already getting off topic, assuming, and he's probably just reading the title and going off of the title and thinking that's the premise. I've easily had channels that started taking dislikes, and I've changed the title, and by changing the title alone, my updates go up immensely. This video's been out for less than 24 hours, so I could do that and potentially change it, but since I'm already farming them and doing this, I'm gonna leave it like that as kind of like a badge of honor, and not one that has given shit about being one. Yeah, no one cares. Like, here, I'm gonna say something. Your sexual preference, nobody cares. I don't care if you like women. I don't care if you like men. Nobody cares about your sexual identity. It's just the truth. Nobody cares about it. And so why would we care about this? We want to be shown stuff that shows us what we could do in game. Or what we're doing in game most of the time, I should say. Because a lot of these people are saying, oh, well, how often, his argument is, how often do you see cis hetero males? Okay, well, how often do you randomly tune in? If I were to randomly tune in to a Dungeons and Dragons live stream right now, nope. Would they be having a gay wedding? Or are they going to be going through a dungeon? Is this a gay wedding? Oh, look, it's Critical Role. I doubt they're having a gay wedding. Look at that, they're in a dungeon. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Who's next? Are you having a gay wedding? Are you having a pride parade? That looks like Baldur's Gate to me if I've ever seen it. That's not a gay. Oh wow, they're having an adventure. Crazy. What is this? A bunch of furries playing Dungeons and Dragons? Oh, there's one furry. Forgive me. Are they at a gay pride parade? They're doing a dungeon? That's crazy. These are the top ones. Oh, let's go check let's go watch the ones that nobody's watching. Let's go look at the ones that nobody's looking at. What's happening? What's happening here? Dungeon. What's happening here? They're at a city. What's happening here? They're at a hookah lounge. What's happening here? Dungeon. They're in a city. Dungeon. Dungeon. Oh my God. It's almost like the game is called Dungeons and Dragons. Except for this guy. He's playing the Division 2. This guy has I've seen more Division 2 gameplay in D&D than I have gay pride parades on Twitch. Would you imagine that? Oh wow, I saw a church there. I almost thought there for a second a gay couple was getting married. But how much you want to bet I click on this and there's not going to be a gay couple getting married? This one says may contain sexual themes. I'm going to risk getting banned to prove that there's no gay couple getting married here. Oh, wow. Oh, start watching. Wow, no gay couple getting married. That's crazy. Okay. So now that we've established that this isn't the majority of things that are happening on Dungeons and Dragons, this just makes everything invalid to what he's saying. D&D is setting where a T-girl can just be a girl. No one's arguing with that. No one's arguing with that. I didn't even argue with that. He came here to get some brownie points. That's it. He came here to virtue signal. He got 36 updates from it. Good for him. A place where radical minorities don't have a system to be oppressed. Again, a bunch of people playing pretend, punching Nazis. Getting hated on. The fact that you can't see that is hilarious. I actually addressed this in the video, and I was like, yeah, it's great that people can do whatever they want. That's the thing about D&D. I said it in this video. Pretend like the core audience hasn't come increasingly queer for 40 years is an insane take. I thought we were done with the 60 IQs takes. This is another emotional argument saying that it hasn't been increasingly queer. You're saying that a majority of people that play D&D are queer. We just looked at Twitch and none of them expressed being queer. Why? Because it doesn't matter. We just looked at Twitch and it didn't matter. As a straight man, again, your sexual preference doesn't matter. This is just for brownie points. This is just to be like, hey, look, I'm on your side, guys. You could literally take this off and then you could still say the same thing and it still applies to everybody. I don't feel like I'm alienated. Why do we have to crap on other communities? My video didn't insult the community, again, for brownie points, in order to feel heard. Didn't insult them. I'm looking at them now and I'm critiquing them, and now I'm probably insulting them because they're doing stupid takes for brownie points. But D&D is one of the most customizable games out there. You can have experience. No, yep. Cool. I said this in my video. Cool. That we agree. What's funny is most of these people agree with me, but they think I'm not saying this. That's the worst part, is they care more about virtue signaling than actually listening to my concerns, which is what did I title the video? Actually ironic. How ironic that a group of inclusive people could exclude someone so harshly. As someone who is queer and gets to play D&D for a living, oh, that's cool. I actually love all these D&D Jover dipshits, like seeing Muskrat. What's wrong with what I'm saying? What's wrong with the 3 points that I'm making that hopefully Editor Mario put up here above me? What's wrong with the 3 points that I'm saying? I don't, there's no objective anything, just attacking character, which is very, very bigotry of someone who doesn't like bigotry. You can always run the game how you want. I agree. I addressed this in the video. I can't understand the need to spend time being upset. Let me explain it to you. First of all, I don't want to stand up like World of Warcraft. I don't want to have a one-button rotation. I missed when you picked a barbarian and you had to be illiterate. I miss racial stats because the idea of making a character and them having to work harder than other characters to become something that they weren't supposed to be is a story in itself for people who can't write. One example, why do I have to work harder for my players? Why do my players who are new to the game have to work harder at playing a game when they have this? Look how beautiful. Look how streamlined and easy it is to get into the new D&D. Look at how they explain feats. You get it bold, you get a quick 1-sentence summary of what it does. 1 sentence in 3 to 5 sentences. You are explained what Tavern Brawler is. In the old D&Ds, it is a freaking paragraph wall of text explaining how rage works for a barbarian. That's just not welcoming for new players. That scares people away who only have about 1 to 2 hours to play the game and are only playing once a month because they got kids, they got work, they got other personal issues in their life. Sure, when I was 16, 17 years old, it didn't matter. We just went home, played D&D, learned a bunch of rules, did a bunch of stupid stuff, made stuff up. We had all the time in the world. People are trying to do this for fun. They aren't trying to make this their freaking identity all the time. They shouldn't have to do homework for a game that they want to play casually. Unless you're the DM, then this is your life and you have no other choice. Bigots aren't the core audience, says the bigot. They're the bad guys who really told themselves wow. It's like he's so close to understanding. But again, most of these could just be drive-bys. These straight up just could be drive-bys and they're taking pot shots at me. That's all it could be. The world, both real and fantasy, will progress and leave your kind to be footnote in history books of what not to be. Dude's been dreaming about saying this, and hey, I'm glad I could be that for you, buddy. I don't know. I don't know what's so bigot about worrying about game mechanics. I don't know what's so bigot about wanting the game to stay core to its identity of adventures and dungeons and traversing through challenges and getting through strife. I think there's a beautiful thing when it comes to pain and overcoming that pain and being able to experience pain casually at a table with other people and to be able to laugh at it and to write stories and to do something on the spot and then to go and experience that with other people is, I think, a wonderful experience and is a reason why Dungeons & Dragons has survived so long. It's collaborative storytelling. And storytelling is essentially overcoming obstacles. The stories, the myths that you create. Hilarious, bro. It's just getting roasted on here. Well, not really. Even though people are attacking my character, they're doing it passive aggressively. A lot of them are just saying Dungeons & Dragons is for everybody, which I agree with. Calling it next video, I've been canceled for my opinions. That's not a bad idea. I might do that. What's your name? Blab Ward Crunkle. Hey, thanks for the next freaking thumbnail clickbait video. I've been canceled for my opinion. It's true. The funny part is he's being sarcastic, but it's true. So you're sad about a lack of representation. No. I'm worried. This is a mining canary. This is a red flag. I am concerned with the prioritization of the optics no, this is actually a good comment. This is a good comment because he's asking a legitimate question. I am worried about the prioritization of a company preferring to go over optics over actually staying to their core identity of what got them there in the first place. Meaning they will cater to new customers, to fleeting customers, in order to get a bigger profit instead of just making the game better and trying to grow the game by it just being really good. In doing so, they introduce poor mechanics like non-consequential mechanics and non-immersive elements like racial stats that dumb down and simplify the game to making it more boring and making people have to work harder in order to enjoy the game. If most people buy your game in order to mod it, you are doing something wrong. I am sorry. I worked at a bookstore. I worked at Half Price Books. For those of you that don't know, it's a brick and mortar bookstore. For those of you that don't know what a brick and mortar means, it means we sell used books at half price. I worked at a bookstore for over 5 years. And everyone that went into the RPG section for Dungeons and Dragons or for Warhammer or whatever always made modifications to it. And you know what? You know why? Because they didn't like what they were currently playing. So they had to go and pick and choose and cherry pick things. Imagine if the company just focused on what the audience what their consumers wanted, focused on what the consumers wanted and just made something good. I mean, imagine that. Instead, they go after brownie points and get these people defending them who can't even give an objective reason why I'm wrong. Because they didn't even listen to what I had to say. And so it's let's pick sides. Oh, he didn't pass my purity test. So therefore, he's no longer he's no longer welcome. Why is trying to bring a new audience by showing the different ways to run D&D, excluding your old audience? Fantastic. That's a good question. That's a fantastic question. I've already said it. I don't want to repeat myself because I end up going on a rant when I don't have a script. But essentially, if you prioritize the new audience, you start to create game mechanics for the new audience, and the core values of what you had before are lost. This is seen in World of Warcraft. This is seen in Halo. This is seen even in Call of Duty. No one is stopping you as a DM from running a game you want at your table. But as a consumer who wants to enjoy the game, as someone who was introduced to Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, who then learned about Pathfinder, who then learned about other versions of the game, it's so much work changing that game. You have to be so dedicated. That is such a filter for anyone. And I don't think that's fair to the community. I don't think that's fair to the consumer. And I don't think that's fair to anyone who's interested in wanting to play the game to know, oh, maybe I shouldn't go into this because, well, there's such a big barrier to entry. That's not, and I like 5th edition because it does make the rules more simplistic and efficient, but you can still don't make it non-consequential. You already know how to run that kind of game, or wouldn't be having this discussion. Bringing the hobby to more people is a net positive. I agree, but you shouldn't have to anger the loyal consumers you've already had. I'm not saying you can make everyone happy all the time. I'm not saying that at all. That's impossible. You're always going to upset people. But when you are splitting your consumers down 50-50, you know, even if they enjoy your hobby slightly differently. And by the way, I'm not mad at anyone who wants to play this version of D&D. I'm worried that they're going to lose their happiness of D&D. I'm worried that if this continues, if the company just keeps trying to make the game dumb and accessible, they're going to hurt. There's a difference between efficiency and stupidity, right? By making the game so easy that mayonnaise can play it, you effed up. You fucked up. But by making the game so simplistic and efficient that a child can play it, but also that it can be played by a middle-aged man or woman, that's great. You've done something amazing. My little sister is 9 years old and she's playing Halo with me right now. That's about the age I played Halo with my dad. That is a very simplistic, easy to get into game that anyone can jump into, and you can get better at the more, and the better you get at it, the more complex it feels for you. That's how you make something efficient, not dumb.
Hey, I'm Mario. I like playing video games, watching movies, and Dungeons and Dragons. If you keep getting me in your suggested videos, or you're watching this video right here, consider subscribing. It goes a long way. Thank you.
If you haven't met any queer people playing D&D, you clearly haven't been playing D&D very long and don't know very much about the community. I've been a DM for over 10 years. I do Project Odyssey. We just finished our first campaign. Very happy about that. Campaign 2 will start next year. You should check it out. Subscribe if you want to keep up with that. But my at-home table, my personal table with personal friends and acquaintances and whoever wants to tag along, is full of a non-binary, is full of has a gay, homosexual, multiple actual, a bi person, and straight people, white people, black people, Mexicans. Yeah, it's a very diverse group, and the sad part is these comment sections misrepresent those people at that table. This comment section, none of those people, I tell those people at that table my opinions, they agree with me. They understand. They listen. These people give the LGBTQ community a bad name. These people are why there's such a visceral reaction when seeing this, because we don't want more of this. We don't want more of this bigotry and exclusion and people who you have to constantly pass a purity test for. My table at D&D, we do tons of different storytelling elements, make tons of jokes, and do a bunch of different things that are fun, stupid, and weird. Very weird sometimes. But you know what? We all get along. Not because we're playing my opinionated version of D&D or their opinionated version of D&D. It's because it's collaborative storytelling. It's because I'm just telling a story and we're using game mechanics that are really fun for us. And I want everyone to have that experience. And if you create a product that can give people that experience, cool. But if you create a product that'll give people that experience for 30 minutes and then they never want to touch it again, and then that's when the game starts to die. If you haven't, I already read that. Core audience, when did they start leaving queer people? Never. You will be left behind when you have to come back to 5th edition, because 6th edition, 7th edition, I know they announced they're not going to do any more editions anymore. They call it legacy content. But when you have to start doing homework for 5th edition because they've gone so far to make the game so dumb, that's when you realize you're the core audience and they left you behind. That when you realize you have to go back and you're like, why did they do this? Why are they catering so much to these new people? Oh, I feel like people complaining that something has changed are doing the neighborhood has changed. Oh yeah, I'm the old man. I'm old man Jenkins with a knowing look thing. Just because Cheerios had a commercial with a mixed race couple doesn't make them taste any different. They just know that mixed race couples exist. They eat cereal. What is he saying right now? What is he going on about? I get it, but it's like we are so off topic to not meeting any of my 3 points. A light beer features a trans person, so what? It's still a beer and the company wants money. It's like he's so close to understanding what I'm saying. It's like, hey, this stuff doesn't matter, so stop focusing on it. It's the focus on the D. It's like he's so close to getting it. It's still Cheerios, so focus on the Cheerios. What you have? This is what we're getting upset about. It's like they put chocolate Cheerios in the Cheerio box because they wanted to represent black people. I don't want chocolate in my Cheerios. I want honey or just Cheerios. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they put chocolate Cheerios in my Cheerios. And I know they've probably made a chocolate Cheerios, but I'm just saying, it's like, what if the default Cheerios was now white and chocolate? Like just to represent black people. We changed up what our original design was. That's what I'm saying. And he's so close. It's almost like he gets it. I'm not upset that black people are advertising it. I'm upset that they changed the Cheerios into chocolate. That's the analogy he needs to be making. That's the analogy I'm going to make. A whimsical, and he would be mad too if he had Cheerios and they were like, "Where are just Honey Nut Cheerios? Oh, we don't make them anymore. You only get chocolate Cheerios now because black people." That's what I'm saying. That's what they do to video games. A whimsical drawing fantasy game should not be the basis of judging the whole I don't care how you play your damn game. I don't think anyone's made a different point. The entire point of the game is to pretend something you want to be, aspire to that. Yes, but you shouldn't have to read through 5 different editions of the game to get an efficient version of that. That's the point I'm making. Does he know? I don't. I really don't. What a terrible video. Figure out your priorities. They're up here somewhere. Those are my priorities. I said them in the video. People who don't deserve it just because you don't I never said that. You're putting words into my mouth. Wow. Also, this isn't a video for me to convince them that they were wrong. Again, this is for those 12 people that like that video. This is for you guys. It's just terrible. It's horrible that you are what represent the LGBTQ plus community. Someone who just can't even listen to the words of someone who made a video. I like how the only thing you respond. Ooh, our first subjective comment. Guys, we got one. I like how the only thing you responded to here is the stuff that confirms your bias on the take. Okay, he's talking about the comments I made when I showed the Twitter. I also showed one. It was hard to find, but I did find Twitter replies that agreed with what a lot of these people said, and then that's where I agreed with them because the take was make your own game, play the game you want to play. So I did view both points, and I agreed with the points, and I also looked at the critical points and was like, okay, this is probably why people are mad, and gave my objective viewpoints, which are the 3 points that I have posted above. So, because literally all I've ever seen when I look at this community for at least for the last decade are incredible queer people, and it doesn't even take much looking to realize what. Oh, jeez. Brownie points. More virtue signaling. The games themselves and characters in them have inherently queer characters everywhere and allows for expression. What? Where? How? Give me an example. Ever since the start of D&D had some queer undertones because that just tends to happen in abnormal and weird settings. That's why D&D became an outlet for closed queer people decades ago. Sure. No one's saying that oh my god, this guy wrote a book. No one is saying that we don't want queers. And such being more acceptable, more and more companies and games have been more open putting it in the spotlight sometimes. Okay, but we don't want chocolate Cheerios. Don't give me chocolate Cheerios. Don't change the mechanics of the game. Don't hurt the game for the queer people. I want queer people to enjoy the game too. I'm trying to save queer people. Don't you understand? I'm trying to save you. Obviously, it's to make more money. Okay, good. But it only works because guess what? The audience is there for it. He's not wrong. People want to eat this up. Look. Would this be a problem if there haven't been movies, TV shows, video games, books that have all suffered from woke optics? if they didn't try to impose values in the game mechanics instead of just advertising like this, people wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't be worried. But because this has become a red flag for, they're going to get lazy on how they work on stuff. Let's keep these companies accountable because they want my money. You should do that. You should keep them accountable if they're going to ask for your money. It's okay to. Just because they agree with you on one topic doesn't mean they agree with you on every topic. And that's the problem here, is that the purity test is all or nothing. It should never be a package deal like that. But it only works, obviously make some money, but it only works because guess what? The audience is there for it. And D&D was such an easy shift to this new audience because in reality, most of them were already here, just more subtle. Tell me why the game is great, other than the fact that you get to pretend to be the real you. Tell me why the game is great, other than the fact that you get to pretend to be the real you. One person. Just one person do it, and I will tell me. D&D is inherently aimed towards queer audience, even before it was obvious because how it made people feel. Okay. Then why change the marketing? You're contradicting yourself now. Why change the marketing if it was already adhering to queer people? Characters and any form of expression, it was inevitability. Where your problem is whenever queer people get focused, you feel out. He's just doing a drive-by. He didn't watch the video. It's just drive-by brownie points. It's just it's drive-by virtue signaling. This guy's going on a power trip. You feel left out. I don't. I really don't. Despite the fact that a lot of these people were not necessarily the main focus, even though there was a large audience for it. And just because some of the new audience are being catered to doesn't automatically mean that you're left out of it. We're going to move on. Game mechanics. It's your choice to back out of it or not to interact with it. And as I said, you deserve a good game, dude. I think you deserve a good game, and I don't think they should dumb down or shit on a game that you like. And as I said, there is nothing literally excluding you. D&D is a very customizable personal blah 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 personal blah 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 blah. And if there's basically any art of media encouraging one side of the community, you take the... Oh my God. Holy crap. Here's the thing. You will never be able to convince someone or talk to someone who's reasoned them into a crazy way of thinking. If they've reasoned themselves into a way, and I know I'm kind of attacking his character there when I say that, but if they've reasoned themselves into thinking a certain way, they've lost the plot. Like he has not addressed any point I made in my video. No one has addressed any point I made in my video. They've asked good questions. We've had a couple good questions, but no one's addressed any points. You got to have a better take if you want to grift to work, bud. I'm a small channel. Over 1,000 views in less than 20 hours with 45 comments. I'd say I grifted pretty well doing it accidentally. I had a player ruin my campaign because I said oh boy. Oh God, the pity party. Here comes the pity party. Because I said in my world, elves and dwarves don't have a reason to hate each other. That's cool. I said that in my world as well, too. Because of the history I wrote, and he continues hating on the elves, and so he just wants to be a racist. So it's not okay that he wants to play pretend a racist? You excluding him? Dude's been holding it in his whole life, man. Let him be a racist. What happened to including everybody? all the players are annoyed, and it's okay when we do it. It's not okay when they do it. If I say, hey, dark elves are evil, you have to hate them. I don't want to hate them. I want to get to know them. And everyone gets annoyed with you because they're evil, because an evil god just made them evil, and all they want to do is rape and pillage because that's what they do. And you want to talk to them, and everyone gets annoyed that you stop the whole session because you want to talk to a rapist. Hey, by all means, play your game, play your own game. Make your own rules and find who you want to play the game setting with you. It is important to talk about the setting at session 0. It has to be kind of open-minded and clear boundaries together. If you don't like the new rules, no one disagrees with this. And it's these safe, passive-aggressive takes that they come in here and they say these things and they're like, we're the good guys. This is why we're good. This is why you're bad. Make your own rules and find players who want to play the same setting as you. It is important to talk about settings in session 0 with everyone. Be kind, open mind. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. If you don't like the new rules, don't play them. There it is. There it is. If you don't like the new rules, don't play them. Here's the thing. If the rules are bad, if the rules aren't fun, you should critique them. You should critique them. If they did something better before and they're doing something worse now, you should critique them. If they're doing something better now and they did it worse before, you should encourage it. You should ask for more. I hated how much math I had to do in Star Wars RPG. You have to do percentiles, division, and all this like what? I just want to roll some dice and play the game. Right? That's it. I just want to tell a story, roll some dice, and play this game. If I have to do math to figure out if someone gets crippled because they lost a percentage of a third of their health every single time we shoot someone with a blaster, I'm going to lose my mind. Right? So in the next Star Wars RPG, please don't add that in there. I don't want to do math. Though I did get really good at percentages because of it. So there's that. I stick to 2014 rules, with most of the book add-ons until 2024, and sometimes just try other rule sets like Pathfinder or Star Wars. Hey, I just said that. Also, I didn't care for the video because you're talking about... What? Shitter? Oh, Exiters. Oh, Exiters. That's a new one for me. I didn't know that one. Comments that... And that platform only has bots and alt-right comments. I didn't like... I didn't like your video because you... I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. You're a bigot for not including everybody and for not listening to everybody, and how dare you avoid queer people. I don't like your video because of the people you consort with, so I'm gonna exclude you and I'm gonna act bigotry towards you. I'm sorry, I need some water. Okay. It's like, how do you, no one cares what people say there. Touch grass, meet people IRL. Sure. Okay, buddy. I will say this. Some people are mad at this because they're bigots. Oh. However, this is literally targeted at me and my friends, and we all said the same thing. Where is Dark Sun? I don't what the heck? Dark Sun D&D? I don't know what that is. Dark Sun is Dungeons & Dragons campaign setting set in the harsh post-apocalyptic desert world of Athos. Holy crap, that looks metal as hell. Yeah! Thank you, dude. Look how harsh that looks. Look how cool that looks. This is Dungeons and Dragons right here. I'm already picturing being imagine they posted something like this. This reminds me of Arrakis. This reminds me of Tatooine. Look at this. Look at this. This is cool. This makes me think, oh, what can I do? What can I be inspired by? What can I... This does nothing to inspire me. This feels like fan fiction, which is so funny because all of Dungeons and Dragons is just fan fiction, but this just feels like fan fiction of fan fiction. Like, of all the things you could do in D&D, you choose to do this, which is fine, but no one else is doing it. We looked on Twitch, no one else is doing it. Dude, I love this. This guy, the good stuff. Lamau. LOL. I don't mean gay homosexuals. Oh, he watched it. He watched it. Because I quoted someone that said that. What the fuck statement? The image does look gay. Happy. See what I did there? Funny. But anyway, yeah, it seems that Hasbro thinks it can squeeze more money out of kids, girls, than it can from super serious middle-aged men. Is it true? No idea. But if you already make toys for kids, it might be the logical step. Look at this guy. This guy's not a bigot. This guy had an interesting take. The capitalist hopes for a repeat customer. Make a customer feel welcome. Then once they have disposed... Why? And these guys are at the... These are probably the... These... They may have liked my video. They may have disliked my video. But this is the first person who gave an honest take. Well, besides this guy up here as well. These bottom barrel comments are the first comments that give an honest take. They're not trying to get brownie points. They're not trying to virtue signal. They're not being narcissistically empathetic. This is great. He may not agree with me all the way, but like, he's giving his take and I respect it. The capitalist hopes for a real customer, make customer feel welcome. They want disposable income, more likely. Cool. More or less, children today can be begged for their parents. And you know what? He also had a conversation. He started a legitimate conversation within the video, because it's a real take. It's not just give me brownie points, give me updates. It's not just, yeah, I agree with you. Yes, let's have a circle jerk together and talk. Oh yeah, this guy replied to this guy. Let me show this real quick. He has honest question. When's the last time your group of sitting here played down at LGS table? For those of you who don't know, local game store. This is really funny, but not the reason you are hoping. I think every local game store I've ever been to has had people playing D&T. Even bookstores I've gone to had regular groups. You didn't answer the question. Basically, he wanted to know the last time, like, as if, like, it happened years ago, I think. And when I answered it, I meant to be like, yeah, it's all the time. Like, anytime I go to one at all, there's always someone playing there. But he wants me to answer specifically, like, when was the X date you did that? And I was like, oh, whatever. The one thing I did reply to, I was just like, I was trying to do it in good faith, but you just drop it after that. This is another one I replied to. We'll get to that in a little bit. My honest question. Ooh. I'd like to pose to you is, why is your frame for Fantastical World so limited? Why is your question so limited in how it has to virtue signal? D&D is about making new worlds to experience with friends. Oh, Jesus. I feel bad for this guy because he didn't even get an update. I feel bad for him. He didn't even get a thumbs up. And he was trying so hard. At every table, people get together to decide the history, the rules, limitations. If you want your barbarian... Ooh, wait, he watched the video. Wait. He actually watched the video. I thought, wait. If you want your barbarian to come from an illiterate society, then discuss the aspects of the world with your DM. Decide if you would like to play the original species traits. Okay. Maybe my point wasn't clear enough. hence this video. Freeing your decision to choose may not the game. If everything is set in stone before you even decide, draw up a character, it inhibits imagination. You're assuming people have imagination. They don't. You don't want to hear it, but they don't. There's a lot of people that are not creative. There are more uncreative people than there are creative people. Trust me. There just is. Which is the purpose of the game. This comment isn't meant to be. I don't think this was a hateful comment. I think he actually went at this in good faith. Just to reframe. This is why he didn't get any updates. Damn. This is why he didn't get any thumbs up, because he didn't pass their purity test. Fuck those guys, man. This is an actual question. I understand where he's coming from. I've already answered this question, but I'll go ahead and answer it again. I doubt he's gonna watch this video, but I'll do it for those of you who may also have the same question. This comment isn't meant to be hateful, just a reframing so you can see how others experience the game. So you want to play, just a reframing. Well, here's the thing. Your perspective is not wrong. In the video, I even said this is fine. Like, you play the game for however you want. The issue is for new people introducing the game, or for people who are enjoying the game consistently and want updated content, right? Want new perspective, want to be challenged in a different way, want to experience something new and not just play the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, right? When they do provide this service to us, right? That is why we give them money, because they are providing a service to us. They are updating content and giving us fresh new stuff. When they do provide this service to us, if it is for an audience of people that are essentially just going to be temporary for a decade and a half, maybe more, then 2 decades, 20 years, that's pretty good. Then maybe I am looking at this wrong from a business point of view. Shit, yeah, dude. If I was a business, hell yeah, milk a group of people for 20 years and then switch it up. Okay, but this is for the consumers. I'm speaking for the consumers, not the businesses. Here's the thing. As a consumer, updated people and people who come into the game, I would much rather have something that's good rather than something that is catered. Something that is placated, something that is watered down and dumbed down for things like that. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about racial stats. Racial stats is probably the best example of this. Getting rid of racial stats, in my opinion, is a mistake. I think there should be challenge to the game. I know it encourages min-maxing, and 5th edition, because of its limited customization, not a coincidence, may I tell you. Is it a coincidence that them catering to this LGBTQ or more queer audience, as most of these comments have said it, that it lost its customization features? The best part about 3.5 that everyone likes to talk about is how customization was so great in 3.5. So isn't it kind of weird how the best feature of 3.5 gets lost when you start to cater to a specific group of people? I don't think it's a coincidence, because this has happened time and time and time again. So when you make a game and it ends up being worse than the previous one, where it should be an improvement, it should be tweaking, it should be refining, it should be making things more efficient, but instead you're trying to innovate, and in innovating you impose new ideas, new ideals, you hurt the game for everybody. So this isn't just about, oh, go play the game you want to play. It's about just making a game that's good for people who are staying loyal, giving their money, for people who are new to the game and want to experience it. They deserve to play a good game. They deserve to have a good time. If everyone's experience in D&D is oh yeah, buy the book and then go look up other rules, go do a bunch of research to change the rules from the book you just bought. That mentality's stupid. That's like World of Warcraft. Like, I buy World of Warcraft, and then now I have to put a bunch of mods to make the game playable? That doesn't make any sense. That there's something wrong with the game at that point. And I'm not saying you're going to stop people from modding things. Like Skyrim, it was heavily modded. It doesn't mean Skyrim was a bad game. I'm not saying that modding things means that it is bad. But if people have a hard time with most of the core rules, if people have a critique the game and then they double down on those critiques. I mean, the guy earlier, the guy said he still plays the 2014 rules. Because it's hard. It's hard to change what you know. It's hard to learn an entirely new system. And when that new system just isn't as fun, it's not good. And the reason for that system not being fun is because of how much they are catering to a new audience. That they forget about you. That is the perspective I want you to take. Sure, I can look up all the rules. Look at all the books I have behind me. And behind this stupid Madam Web poster that was given to me as a birthday present, I also have more books of and Star Wars books and other edition books down there. I've done my homework. I've done my research and taken the best from this edition and gotten rid of the worst from it. But Wizards of the Coast should do that. They should be held accountable to their own game. People can play whatever game they like. I keep my game old school because they are inspired by medieval age. Cool. So if my game doesn't really promote modern politics, well, it's because it's not a modern game. I do not like presentation of current D&D. Like, I hate how tieflings are everywhere now instead of how they were lore back in the day. Yo, this guy gets it. This guy gets it. I think your take with the image is pretty based. You're selling a role-playing game about exploring dungeons and killing dragons. Why would you promote it with a picture of a wet... He gets it! He gets it! Not entirely to the point that I'm making, but he does get it. Why would you promote a picture of a wedding, gay or not? I don't really care. Isn't that what I said earlier? Isn't that what I said earlier? Who cares? Who cares if you're fucking gay? Who cares who you're fucking? I don't care who you take to your bed. I do not care. No one cares who you take to your bed. But it's the only identity a lot of these people have. I'm not going to buy an RPG game that's trying to sell me a wedding. He gets it. If they are trying to sell you this, they are going to make the game like this. They are going to make the game like this. I am not trying to play Wedding Simulator. He gets it. He gets it. Why if they're going to... They say don't judge a book by a cover. But the cover is what gets you to buy the book. And if you can't get the cover right, if you're making a cover for the wrong audience, you're gonna piss off the consumer. If I buy a book that has a half-naked lady on it, I expect half-naked ladies in the book. And if I buy the book and there are no half-naked ladies in the books at all, I'm upset. I've been lied to. Not gonna buy an RPG that's trying to sell me a wedding. It's Dungeons and Dragons, not wimps and weddings. And it's true. I'm sorry. But doing things like saying orcs and drows people have been treating them so racist. We want to make them equal like every other race in the game. Come on, dude. What a stupid... Why? Why are you comparing them to minorities? That's weird. Where's the monsters, the evil, the weapons, and the mystery? I'm going to give this... you deserve an updo. You get a heart. You get a heart. He gets it. And it's so funny because I'm reading this. I know it sounds bigotry. I know it does. But this right here, not going to buy a game RPG that's trying to sell me a wedding. That is the point I'm making right there. This is the point. This is what got people upset. Why would you make a game that's trying to sell a wedding? That is not the identity of Dungeons and Dragons. That is not how anyone plays the game. Maybe, I'm not saying I haven't had a wedding or a celebration happen in my D&D games, but that happened less than 1% of the time that we've played. If you count up all the hours I've played over the 10 years I've played, the amount of times we've had a gay pride parade, and I have bis, gays, and non-binary people in my game, by the way, who never expected me to do any of this. You know what their expectation was? To go on a fucking adventure. That was their expectation. Oh, why do you keep giving your time and money to companies like these? I did talk to this. It sucks to say, but it's the most convenient and efficient way for me to do Project Odyssey. At home, I have more fun playing older editions or other older games like Star Wars RPG or Warhammer RPG. So I speak out for the people who need the convenience of 5e but can't find a group to play 3.5 with. Just play 5th edition and change, ignore the rules you don't like. That's literally D&D and always has been. I'm going to reply to this guy. Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast is providing a service. To make and update the game. Modding is fine. Everyone does it. But if the game becomes so watered and dumbed down that it is the only creates a barrier of entry for everyone. This is not a matter of who this game is for, but a matter of let's keep the game mechanics good enough. And that's the last thing I'll say to this guy. Modding. I'll just leave it spelt wrong. I don't care. Wizards of the Coast is providing a service to make and update the game. Modding is fine. Everyone does it. But if the game becomes so watered and dumbed down that it is the only way to play, creates a barrier of entry for everyone. This is not a matter of who this game is for, but a matter of let's keep the game mechanics good enough. Brother, grow up. Why? I play Dungeons and Dragons. Why would I ever want to grow up? This guy is simply stating his opinion and beliefs. If you go back a D&D, it was super metal and was for everyone. He's not Oh, I have a defender? What? Out of all the comments, I have one defender. Someone who is taking up a sword and asking all those to repent from their wicked ways. Woo! Zach Zoni 4973, I love you. Oh, no one gave him any updates. It was super metal and was for everyone. He's not complaining so much about the fact that there is LGBTQ stuff. It's more about that, as opposed to making cool art that about D&D, Wizard makes this kind of art which clearly targets only one group. I can see where he's coming from. So can most of you. It's sad that instead of writing something of value or at least an argument, you all attack him, which is probably what you'll do to me. Bro, What? I was not expecting this comment. I skimmed through like I skimmed to like here before I started the video, because I just wanted to be like kind of mentally aware and prepared and have some arguments ready. After this, I was in blind territory. I didn't know anywhere this would go. For this guy, look, hey, this is why I make these videos. I make these videos because of people like this who get so sick of people just taking sides and purity test and I just want to give people the truth. I just want to give people the facts. I just want to give people a little bit of my opinion. And I want to have a conversation about it, and I want to hear what you have to say about these things. And if I get another 44 comments of people just shitting on me, all I need is one Zach to make my motherfucking night. Thank you, Zach Zoni. Can't wait to make another video. Hope you watch this one. It's an hour and 10 minutes long. Bro, if anyone watches this video, I will genuinely be impressed. I'm probably not going to make another video like this. I had fun making it. I don't want to make too many videos like this, because I debated making a video like this because I was like, does it, like, I've already said my piece. Everything's in the video. I just want to continue doing my reviews and work on the next video game review that I've been working on recently. But I thought, why not try it out, see what happens. I had fun doing it, but I think it's okay for the channel. I wouldn't say it fits everything I do in the channel, so this will be on a rare occasion that more videos like these come out. But an hour, and oh god, dude, I try to keep my videos at least 10 minutes long. These 101 videos have been 30 minutes and stuff because I ramble. I've been thinking about going and doing scripts for these 101 videos, which after this I might have to do, because nobody's gonna finish this video. Oh, you know what? Speaking of finishing these videos, I accused these commenters of drive-bys, so I can actually look at the analytics. Maybe not, because it's been less than 20 hours. Yeah, no. Most people dropped off of the video at like the 1 minute mark. I lost over half. Literally at the 54 minute mark, only 36% of viewers stayed. No one stayed. I have literally 0 people stayed at the 7 minute mark, before 8 minutes. And you know what the worst part is? That's when I started making most of my major points. So with that being said, I don't think anyone's gonna watch this video right here. Hey, if you watch this video, leave a comment saying I saw the whole thing. You're a true one if you do that. All right, guys. Thank you once again, Zach Zoni. Thank you. Thank you, Lady Bits. Thank you, Metalhead. Thank you, Jose Gonzalez. And I think there are a couple other guys. Thank you, Unlikely Suspect. Thank you, one, for just engaging and having your own thoughts about this situation. And not just trying to get brownie points. Honestly, thank you guys. I think there was a couple other people up here, but I forgot. And I'm trying to end this video. So, thank you guys. For the rest of you guys, honestly, it's kind of sad. It is disappointing. I want to let everyone know, these people do not represent the LGBTQ plus community. I have friends in that community. I think these people are just terminally online, like myself, and they would rather attack and act like bigots than have a objective conversation. And why? It's narcissism. They want to feel good about themselves, and if they need to punch down or punch up or, you know, make someone else feel smaller to do so, that's what they're going to do. And I don't take it personal. I don't. It's not going to stop me from making another video. I know where I stood, and no one addressed any of the points I made. But to be fair, no one watched my video past the 8-minute mark, so they didn't even know what points I was making. So maybe I'll get more objectionable views on this video because I brought my points early on and I learned my lesson. I'll say my points early. I'll say my points at the beginning of all my 101 videos from now on because I like to rant and ramble. I'm not going to do another hour and 15-minute video though. Until next time, guys, play nice.